What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, one of the most interesting and exciting industry insider reports and rumors leading up to San Diego Comic-Con, and really still in anticipation of what's to come from Marvel in the future that hasn't been announced, is the World War Hulk storyline, stuff we didn't see from Thor Ragnarok, now coming into play in the MCU and taking Mark Ruffalo's iteration of the Hulk to a whole new place, finally making good on what they did during the Infinity Saga to depower this fan favorite character and instead bring him to one of his highest power levels, hopefully in a World Breaker Hulk situation where he becomes the major villain. Now, there has been a brand new development in the last couple of days, certain documents that seem to reveal the timeline for this and whether or not Marvel Studios can actually go forward with doing this because of the rights to the Hulk. We're going to break down exactly what they say, what it means for whether or not we're going to get a World War Hulk series in the MCU, and if we are, what sort of timeline we're looking at. We'll also cover exactly what Mark Ruffalo said a couple of days ago when asked point blank about the World War Hulk series on the red carpet for SheHulk, and then talk about some of the key details that were included in some of the oldest rumors and reports about how SheHulk might set all this up. We're breaking it down, the latest World War Hulk in the MCU, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report, or in the case of today's video, all three. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so today's revelation actually comes to us in the same way that so many have recently via Reddit, where the user Video Ares shared SEC filing documents from 2006 between Universal Studios and Marvel for The Incredible Hulk. This is what they said, quote, Universal Studios has agreed to distribute Marvel's The Incredible Hulk and sequels on essentially the same terms as those on which Paramount has agreed to distribute other films financed and produced under the film facility. And then this is where it gets super interesting. Distribution term: Paramount shall have the right to exercise its Paramount distribution rights with respect to each picture for an initial period of 15 years, commencing on the initial theatrical exhibition of such picture, the initial distribution term. This basically means that since The Incredible Hulk was released in June of 2008, that 15-year period will be up next summer in June of 2023, allowing Marvel Studios to move forward with finally doing their own solo Hulk film with Mark Ruffalo in the lead. Now, Hulk and Namor over at Universal are not the only two Marvel characters who have suffered under the fact that their rights may revert if the studio doesn't continue to make films. One perfect example of this is Spider-Man under Sony. If Sony doesn't make a Spider-Man movie for X amount of time, Marvel Studios would get the rights back. And there was hope there for a while that that's actually what would happen, but it seems as though Marvel Studios went and took the Hulk and did what they needed to just leave it sit for 15 years for Paramount, especially with Namor. They didn't even attempt to do a Namor solo film that would have had to exist in its bubble when the MCU is already going as strong as it was. So they basically let it sit there for 15 years, and now if this is true about 2023, gives them perfect timing to be able to start pre-production, get it into filming, and release it in 2025, leading into Avengers Secret Wars. But here's where things get just a little weird, because there were several rumors and reports about this franchise, one of which is that it would be the next major crossover leading into an Avengers film. Well, now that Avengers film has been confirmed in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, but the other was that it might be a 4-part series on Disney Plus, which I think in my heart might have just been a contingency plan if this didn't all work out. I certainly think that World Breaker Hulk or World War Hulk, whatever they'll end up calling it, definitely calls for a silver screen release. Again, if these rumors are real, that gives this movie plenty of time to go into pre-production and come out in 2025 along the conclusion of the Multiverse saga and leading into Secret Wars. Now, when you take all this and you sort of recontextualize Mark Ruffalo's quote the other day on the red carpet premiere for She-Hulk when he was asked point blank about the World War Hulk series that everybody's talking about, he basically said, "I'm ready to do it when they are." And if you take this again in context that they're just not ready yet, he wasn't denying it or giving a spoiler, just basically said he's ready, confirming he's willing to go down this road and become what was going to be one of the craziest villains we've seen in the MCU. And ultimately, that's where it leads us. Marvel Studios finally getting to do right by the Hulk, a thing of major contention during the Infinity Saga. And I think they've even started to poke a little fun at that themselves, knowing that Smart Hulk was not exactly what everybody wanted. He was not number one on everyone's list, and where we wanted this ultimate rematch between the Hulk and Thanos, fans were just super upset that not only was that not to happen, but we never got to see Hulk in any of his most powerful forms at any point. Alas, that wasn't the end of his story, and when the Russos talk about it in retrospect, you kind of get a different reverence for where they were at. They saw Hulk as just one of these impossibly powerful characters that, if he wasn't severely depowered, would sort of stand in way of the narrative and the rest of the characters getting their due, and in that, basically depowered the Hulk to make space for other characters and as a plot device. But now they have a chance to undo that, and so my final thought with all of this, though, is that when Marvel Studios has the foresight to bring Hulk to one of these highest power set levels and ultimately give us a crossover film like World War Hulk, where ultimately it would be him versus the Avengers and whom else ever is there, the Illuminati at that point, and we'll talk about that more in theory videos, is that they then don't end the character storyline there in a confrontation with the Avengers where it's if or when they or them, because if they give us a powerful Hulk, I want to see him in context of a huge superhero battle like Secret Wars. Basically what I'm saying is, if they finally do right by the Hulk, I don't want them to take any pieces off the chessboard. Leave him in play so we can see him versus Doom. Speaking of which, there's still one huge versus battle that Marvel has a chance to finally do that they never could before, in having Wolverine's introduction be Wolverine versus the Hulk. He's still well at play in the MCU, so this could ultimately lead to that as well. A chance for Marvel Studios to sort of cross all the T's and dot all the I's here during the Multiverse saga, and I am here for it, guys. Let me know all your thoughts down below in reaction to this, where you stand with the World War Hulk film, and how you want to see this lead into Secret Wars. Do you agree with me? You want him to be kept around? He may face off against the Illuminati and the Avengers, but I hope it's not to the death. Like, keep him in the MCU so we can see him in Secret Wars. I am all ears in the comments. I will see you guys tonight. We are doing a watch party for She-Hulk, so if you're staying up to watch it at home, come by and see us. We go live about an hour before it starts, so 2 a.m. East Coast time, 11 Pacific. We have an hour of discussion. I watch here as you watch at home, and then we have after discussion, and then I stay up all night and do the Easter egg video every week. Let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away PlayStation 5s every 20,000 subscribers. The next milestone's 980 as we push up to 1 million. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name All Fires. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.